Thank you. Good evening and welcome. My name is Arva Rice. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm the interim chair of the Civilian Complaint Review Board. I would like to call the CCRB's February public meeting to order. Will the board please introduce themselves now, and I'll start on this side with Joe Puma.
All right. Good afternoon. My name is Joe Puma. I'm the Manhattan City Council designee to the board, and I go by he, him pronouns.
Good afternoon. I'm A.U. Hogan, a city council designee, and I go by he, him pronouns. And welcome, everybody.
Hi, I'm June Northern. I am a mayoral appointee from Brooklyn.
Hello, excuse me. My name is Herman Merritt, City Council designee from Brooklyn.
Hi, I'm John Darsh. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm the executive director of the CCRB.
Hello, Joe Fox, I'm a police commissioner representative.
Good afternoon. My name is Kevin Jamat, and I'm a mayoral appointee from Queens.
Good afternoon. Pat Smith, mayoral appointee, Manhattan.
Good afternoon. Charlene Brown-Wyans, police commissioner designee.
Thank you. And is there anyone sworn on the line? No. Okay, terrific. I'd like to ask for a motion to approve the February board meeting minutes as presented.
So moved.
A second?
Madam Chair?
Did you have a correction?
Yes. I saw the introductions from the virtual board members, but I didn't see the introduction from the board members that were present in the minutes.
Thank you, Kevin, for bringing that to light.
Chair Rice, if I could suggest that we table the minutes until next month, but we'll go over both, and we'll make sure these get corrected.
Thank you. Thank you for that suggestion. Thank you, Mr. Jamat, for bringing that to our attention. We did miss that. Okay. I joined this board in 2021 and have witnessed firsthand the incredible work this agency accomplishes. The CCRB is a core component of public safety in this city. Disciplining officers and holding them accountable for their misconduct is a necessity if we want to see patterns of misconduct change. The City Council showed their faith in the work of the CCRB by passing a bill in 2021 asking the CCRB to take on the investigations of racial profiling and bias-based policing. That same year, this board voted to include sexual misconduct and untruthful statements in the CCRB's jurisdiction. The next year, the CCRB began investigating body-worn camera misuse. These various expansions to our jurisdiction added 3,825 allegations to our docket. While our work grows, our funding does not. We want to serve New Yorkers as best we can, and we believe the best way to serve the city is by holding all misconduct accountable. Last year, we received 50% more complaints than the year before. This is not due solely to our expanded jurisdiction, but New Yorkers are filing more complaints than they have in the past 10 years. It is impossible to take on this much extra work and not hire more people. Sadly, this has resulted in necessary cuts from the agency. As we announced in December, the CCRB will no longer investigate certain allegations as we did not have the funding to do so. Thus far, we have closed 406 cases due to budget cuts. Next week, I will be testifying before the Public Safety Committee as to why the CCRB needs far more funding than we have ever been granted. No misconduct should go unaddressed, but the only way to properly address all misconduct is to properly fund the CCRB. We hope for support from the City Council and the Mayor's office as we fight for sufficient funding for the coming years in order to make New York safe for all of its people. I will be testifying at the Public Safety Committee's budget hearing on March 20th. I look forward to continuing to advocate for the CCRB to be funded at a level that will enable it to guarantee a fair and impartial investigation to our neighbors who feel they are victims of police misconduct. I will now pass it over to Executive Director Jonathan Darsh, who will speak to continued increase in cases in 2024. John?
Thank you, Chair Rice. As the Chair just mentioned, the CCRB received 50% more complaints in 2023 than in 2022, for a total of 5,550 complaints. In January and February of 2024, we are already on pace to receive even more complaints. We received 15% more complaints than we did during the same time period last year. If we continue to receive complaints at this rate, we will receive 6,200 complaints in 2024. That would be the highest level of complaints since 2010. If you look quickly at the agency's open docket, you would see that it was at 1,693 open investigations on March 1st of this year, as compared to 1,630 on March 1st of last year. This is misleading because of the new policy on allegations that we are not investigating. The open docket was actually 2,000 on January 1st of 2024. Since then, the agency has closed 379 complaints in January and another 124 in February due to the new policy that we've been forced to adopt because of budget cuts. That is more than 500 complaints, all within the agency's jurisdiction, that the CCRB will not investigate. As Chair Rice said, to keep up with this ever-increasing number of complaints, the CCRB needs a significant amount of additional staff and resources. This past Saturday, I spoke at a panel on the state of civilian oversight in New York State. It was hosted by Assemblymember Catalina Cruz and Senator Jamal Bailey at Somos in Albany. One of the other panel members was Larry Knox of the Rochester Police Accountability Board. As we look forward to next week's budget hearing, I think there might be something to learn by comparing the relative fiscal commitments to civilian oversight by both cities. Larry spoke about how the Rochester Police Accountability Board has a staff of 30 and a budget of $3.5 million to conduct oversight over a police force of approximately 850 people. The NYPD is approximately 43 times bigger than the Rochester PD. That makes sense because Rochester's population is, or New York City's population is roughly 41 times bigger than Rochester's. If the CCRBs, if the New York City CCRB was 41 times bigger than Rochester's, we would have 1,256 people on staff. The current proposed budget would limit the CCRB to 228 people. If the CCRB's budget was 41 times bigger than the Rochester Police Accountability Board's budget, the CCRB's budget would be $146 million, about 7 times its current size. New York City has been considered a leader in police reform since the inception of the CCRB, but we are trailing other cities in terms of funding, staffing, and access to police records. We hope to begin rectifying these discrepancies and funding the CCRB appropriately so that we can continue to oversee the largest police force in the country. Just a few administrative reminders as we go on to the rest of the meeting. Our office is open for walk-in complaints, but it's also possible to file complaints online at nyc.gov/CCRB complaint. That's nyc.gov/CCRB COMPLAINT. By telephone at 1-800-341-2272 or by dialing 311. If anyone wishes to file a complaint who's here today or joining us online today, we have 3 investigators on hand ready to take new complaints. Jillian Bevins, Emma Steidehar, and Jessica Russo, as well as one of our CAU associates, Brenia Feliciano. We're going to hear from folks who are joining us online first before we go to people who are at the meeting in person and wish to comment. Regardless of whether you are joining online or here in person, please keep your comments to 4 minutes. If you are joining online and wish to participate, please use the raise your hand feature. Thanks to the staff for their hard work, and thanks again to the members of the public for participating in tonight's meeting.
Thank you so much, John. We'll have Frank, as you come to join us. If you can introduce yourself for the record. John, Frank? Thanks.
I'm Frank Dwyer, sorry to join you late. I'm a police commissioner representative.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions for our executive director? Any questions? Okay, thank you. We're going to have a presentation from our Deputy Director of Outreach and Intergovernmental Affairs, wait, no, we're not having Jahai. We're having, he's over there. We're having Marua Reggie. And my apologies if I mispronounced your name, and please feel free to correct me.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Marwa Rigi, and I'm the Deputy Director of Outreach and Intergovernmental Affairs of the Civilian Complaint Review Board. The CCRB is the nation's largest independent oversight entity of the largest police force in the country. The CCRB investigates, mediates, and prosecutes complaints of misconduct against members of the NYPD, and the agency is governed by a 15-member board with 5 seats appointed by the mayor, 5 appointed by city council, 3 designated by the police commissioner, 1 appointed by the public advocate, and the chair is appointed jointly by the mayor and city council. The CCRB investigates abuses of force, abuse of authority, discourtesy, and offensive language. On September 9th of 2023, the Office of Management and Budget announced citywide budget cuts. So as a result, the CCRB is no longer able to fully investigate certain cases within its jurisdiction. After careful consideration, effective January 1st, 2024, the CCRB suspended investigating the following: failure to provide right-to-know act cards with no other allegations, refusal to provide name or shield number with no other allegations, discourteous words or actions with no other allegations, threats with no action with no other allegations, refusal to process a civilian complaint with no other allegations, property seizures with no other allegations, forcible removal to hospital with no other allegations, untruthful statements with no other allegations, and lastly, any complaint that has only the above referenced allegations. The CCRB will resume investigating these cases as soon as the city allocates sufficient funding to do so. If a complaint contains one of the above allegations in addition to other allegations that still fall within CCRB jurisdiction, every allegation in the complaint will still be investigated. So if a person would like to file a CCRB complaint, they can do so by filing the complaint online at our website, nyc.gov/CCRB complaint. You could also call the CCRB at our number, 1-800-341-CCRB. And remember, if you see footage of misconduct on social media or in the news, you can still file a complaint, even if you weren't there in person. There's a few other ways. You can also visit us at our office. We're located at 100 Church Street, 10th floor, here in Manhattan. You can also file a complaint at your local police precinct. NYPD is required to accept CCRB complaints at any precinct, and you can request a complaint form and postage-free envelope. Now, I will ask our Staten Island Outreach Coordinator to discuss Staten Island Outreach.
Good afternoon. My name is Prince Corbina. I am the Staten Island Outreach Coordinator. So I'm just here to give an overview of year up to date from the beginning of the year to now, what outreach activity has been going on in Staten Island. So I'm just going to give a brief data. So the year to date, we encountered at least 1,720 people, individuals, given information about CCRB. In regards to outreach events up to the year, it's 50 outreach events. Partners to the date, 21. Complaints received 2023 to date from Staten Island is 246. Complaints closed from 2023 to date is 278. Officers substantiated cases from 23 to date is 70. So some of the outreach is the pictures on the board, on the screen rather. The first on the top left is myself and with some of the CMS programs. I know Brother AU. CMS, True to Life. We work with them on Staten Island, doing a lot of things on Staten Island, giving out flyers, and as well as helping them, conduct their services as well. And also on the bottom right, some of our CCRB initiative, which is the CCRB Cares. Myself helping one of the Muslim community on Staten Island, giving out food to the parish and as well as the members in the community. Which one? Right or left? Okay. And also some of the other activities on Martin Luther King Day, or Day of Service, I was able to work with some of the elected officials on Staten Island, Assemblyman Charles Forrest, Councilwoman Hanks, as well as the Senator Spatton. The borough president was there as well, so we were able to clean up some of the portions of Staten Island. And the middle picture is one of the presentations I conducted at Chance of Life. The Chance of Life is another agency, organization on Staten Island, which they work with young individuals, young youth on Staten Island, that's to educate them with leadership and empowerment. So I was asked to come in to speak to them about the CCRB, what we provide and things like that. The last picture was one of the recent Youth Empowerment Summit, which is by Island Voice and Canvas Institute by a gentleman named Bobby Digi. That was done probably like a week or two ago. So it was a lot of teams from all different parts of Staten Island come in to discuss any current events as well as any concerns that the teens are having. And they have breakout rooms where they're talking about gun violence and other activities. They have breakout rooms. So I was able to go in, and as well as tabling as well. So I was doing both. So after they finished the breakout room, they would come and get information from my table, and as well as give more explanation about CCRB, the structure, the complaints, how to file, and all those things like that. So this is some of things that's going on in Staten Island right now to March. But it's always something going on. So thank you.
Thank you, Prince. So just to end, if anyone would like to request an outreach presentation, they can reach out by emailing outreach@ccrb.nyc.gov. And please follow us on social media. We have the same username on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at CCRB_NYC. Thank you.
Madam Chair, I probably should have explained this before, but as you know, in the past, we've tried to go to every borough at least once during the year, and we've been unable to do so this year after the budget cuts. And so we are still committed to giving each borough once a year, time in the spotlight. And I want to thank Prince for joining Marwa in giving that presentation. It was very helpful.
Very much. Thank you so much. I know I enjoyed hearing the additional information. So that means we'll be hearing from each one of the boroughs over the course of the next couple of months?
Yes.
Okay, terrific. Good. Look forward to that. Are there any questions from other members of the board? AU?
I just want to say that I really appreciate the presentation, and it's good seeing Staten Island being in front of something in New York City, you know? But Chair, on a serious note, the brother that Prince talked about, one of the brothers from the CMS, Iron Mike Perry, lost his brother this past week, and I just wanted to send condolences to him and his family on the board. You know, the work is very complicated, what we do out there, you know, and I just wanted to put that out, and Prince, thank you for the work out there, man.
Yes, and that was happened this past weekend, so
Yeah.
we dealing with that as well in Staten Island in regards to his brother. So, and he was part of the CMS program too, and it's kind of difficult for them going through that. But they're still out there in the streets, still doing what they're doing. They're not stopping. So, my heart goes off to them, the guys and the ladies out. They do amazing things on Staten Island. So,
So do you. Thank you, man.
Thank you, brother.
Thanks, man.
Thank you, AU, and thank you, Prince, again. Any other questions or comments from the members of the board? Okay, thank you, we really appreciated that presentation. We have another board member who has joined us. Esmeralda, can you state your name for the record, please?
Esmeralda Simmons. I'm an appointee of the Public Advocate, Jemani Williams. I hail from Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn.
Terrific. Good to see you, Esmeralda. We will now enter the public comment portion of the meeting. We will begin with those joining us virtually who would like to make a comment, followed by those who are joining us in person. For those joining virtually, please use the raise your hand feature, and please keep your comments to 4 minutes. And now we have everybody in their rightful places.
Sweet packages.
All righty. Jahai, would you call on the first person virtually?
No one virtually?
Comment section on what?
No one virtually? No one. Okay, great, thank you. For those who are joining us in person and are interested in making a public comment, please line up behind the podium. We're going to ask you to keep your comments to 4 minutes. Anyone who is joining us in person would like to make a comment today? Okay, seeing none. Do we have any old business to come before the board this evening? Sir? Okay. Do we have any old business to come before the board? Any old business? Okay. Do we have any new business to come before the board? Okay. Hearing none, I'm going to now move that we break into executive session. The agenda for the executive session is the board will undergo training, the executive director will discuss pending personnel actions, and the general counsel will update the board on pending litigation. I would like to call the March board meeting of the CCRB to a close. Do I have a motion for us to call the board meeting to a close?
So just to be clear, the motion is to adjourn to executive session.
I'm sorry, yes, thank you. Do I have a motion to adjourn to executive session? Do I have a second? Okay, so moved. The March meeting, public session is adjourned. Thank you.